Chat is the primary interface where you can ask questions, get answers. Diving deeper into this chat, you can see we started with a relatively vague question. And in this example, we asked, has there been any drastic changes in our shipping performance over the past few months? Lumi retrieves the data, auto-visualizes the chart. You can always click on the table tab to see the underlying data, and you can always download the data into Excel or CSV if you want to. Other things you can do here is pin the visual to the board or copy it and paste it into a deck. You can also customize the visual, and there's a lot of options that you have here to change the chart types. Other things you can do, for example, is come in here and change some of the colors, click undo and redo, and click save. Moving on, you also get a summary of the findings, and you also get clickable follow-ups. So these are just ideas on what you should be doing recommended by Lumi. There's ability to thumbs up, thumbs down, and the ability to request verification as well. Moving below to the prompt bar, you have the ability to add a file, and this allows you to now extract insights from both unstructured PDFs or Excel files and the underlying database or ERP that you may be querying. The prompt helper allows you to explore what data is available, and you can also explore a set of sample prompts that have been made available for you as well. Filter allows you to filter the chat on any particular attribute you want. Really helpful, we've seen. And then if you'd like to see how Lumi generated the insights, you can kind of show thinking. And what this does is basically shows you how the different agents interact with one another. So the first thing we do is we rephrase the user's prompt. After doing that, we then pull the most relevant context from the knowledge base. And then the rephrased prompt and the context are then provided to the query agent that tries to solve the analysis. So it provides its explanations in plain language, the assumptions as well, and then the actual SQL code that was generated dynamically to answer the user's questions here. In this particular example, we noticed that Lumi has found that there's been a significant decline in on-time shipping performance, and it's very evident over here, and recommended we investigate the root causes. And so we can run this prompt, and that's what we did over here. And what we get is essentially a summary of the findings along with the breakdown of the problem. So in this particular example, it broke down the root cause into 5 sub-questions that it analyzed in parallel. You can click through them to see all of what you're doing here. And essentially, after analyzing all of these 5 factors in parallel, Lumi clearly states that the primary driver of shipments has been due to inventory shortages more than anything. And so that's quite interesting. It's probably a good spot to dive deeper and investigate deeper here. And so you can just ask it, and in this case, that's what I did. Can you please show me the trends of inventory shortages over time? And in this case, Lumi gave us the number of stockouts on each day, which is good, but I'd like to see this by month personally. And so you can do exactly that, right? You can just ask Lumi show this by month, and we can now see a much clearer rising trend of inventory shortages. If you'd like to add columns, you very easily can by simply asking Lumi. And in this case, we can tie it all together nicely by asking Lumi to bring in on-time shipping. And so we can now clearly visualize what happened over here, right? So I asked it to add a few more columns, and these columns that were brought in were added to the chart. And we can see that on-time shipping went down, correlates strongly with an increase in out of stocks. And so this really shows Lumi's ability to take vague questions and really try to, in a matter of minutes, find novel insights that may be buried in large ERPs, data warehouses, insights that traditional BI tools typically miss. At this point, you can choose to share the analysis with other people. So anyone that you want, you can kind of share with, or you can also copy the link and just send it to them.